Hey everyone, it's Kelsey. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Vlogmas, and today we're going to be going through the books that I read in 2023. And listen, I could still finish books in this month, so there could be more to this list, but we're all cozy. I got a sweatshirt on, I got my coffee. I didn't read as much this year as I have in previous years. This year I read 46 of 28 books. My goal was 28. Some of them were kids books because, listen, I marked them as read because for my job, I do story time, and so I have to read these books out loud to children, and I feel like I should get credit for that because it is nerve-wracking. Kids are scary. So I feel like I should get credit for that. The only book I read in January, apparently, was In the Flow, and this is by Elisa Vita. It's just about like living in tune with your cycle and everything. I watched this really good video on it on YouTube. I forget whose video it was on, and I didn't know about like that there were phases like of a woman's cycle. Like I didn't know that, so it was nice to get educated on that. I feel like that's something that they should teach you in school and in health class, but I digress. Oh, and I gave that 5 stars. February, I was really on my fan fiction grind. I only mark fan fictions. Well, my rule is if it's on Goodreads, it counts and it can be marked, right? But especially like some of these fan fictions are like novel length, like they're over 40,000 words. So I'm like, it counts. Some people get mad when you do that. I don't really care. I just like to mark it. But so I have a bunch of them on here. They were all Theum, which is Theo and Liam from Teen Wolf. Listen, I love them. I think they're adorable. I think they should have gotten together in the show. Apparently they were supposed to, but Cody Christian didn't want to make Dylan Sprayberry uncomfortable, like, for the kiss that was scripted, because at the time Dylan was under 18 and Cody was like 21, 22 or something like that. So I respect that. I do respect that, but I'm like, okay, so the story was going in that direction because it definitely does seem like it, but that's why we have fan fiction. And honestly, like, the Theme fan fictions are so good. Like, there's some, if you're like a fan fiction reader, then you know, like, there's some fandoms and some ships that like the fan fiction is just top tier, and then there's some that it's like the fan fiction is terrible, and you're like, because sometimes it's like a popular ship but the fan fiction is awful. So there are just certain ships that are better and have better fan fiction and better fan fiction writers, and Theme is one of the ones that for me just slaps. It's so good. Then I read that, oh, I gave all those 5 stars. Oh, except for one I gave 3 stars. I don't need to go through every single one, okay? I don't need to expose myself like that. I've already exposed myself enough. We're done. Okay. Then I read That Time I Got Drunk and Saved by a Demon. This was by Kimberly Lemming. I gave that a 2 stars. I think it's like a little novella. I don't remember a lot about it, but I remember I like just didn't really care about it. It was like whatever, you know? Like, it wasn't that good. I don't know what I was expecting. This was such a long time ago, okay? So I'm doing my best to go through them. And then I read How to Bite Your Neighbor and Win a Wager, and that was Deanne Bryan. And I gave that 4 stars. I do remember really liking this one. I really liked the ship in it. I really liked the main characters, and I thought that the world was interesting. I do remember that. I thought that it was like a fun time. So that's that one. There's a second one that I'll probably read at some point, but it's like in the same world but different characters, if that makes sense. That's why I didn't like rush to read it. Then I read Almond by Son Wong Pyung. I hope I'm saying that right. I gave that 5 stars. I remember it was just very good, and like, why can't the word that I want is escaping me? It was very good and profound. I think that's what I was looking for. And it was a quick read. Moving on. Then I read Galatea by Madeline Miller. Gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. This is a short little novella by the same author who wrote The Song of Achilles. And this is about Galatea. I believe she was sculpted into creation, and then she kind of like becomes a sentient being, you know? and like develops her own like thoughts and all this stuff. It was fun. I really liked it. It was a good time. And then I read My Evil Mother by Margaret Atwood. This was in June. This is another novella. Margaret Atwood wrote The Handmaid's Tale, which I've also read, so I really liked this one. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It was like a little novella about, it's hard to explain, like kind of like this girl who like thinks her mother's a witch, and her mother's always like superstitious about things, and then the whole time you like don't know if she like actually was a witch or if she was just pretending to be a witch so that her daughter would listen, so she could keep her daughter safe. Because she would like tell her like in the book she like tells her not to like get in the car, like she doesn't want her to date this guy, and because she says that he's gonna get in a car accident at some point or whatever and die, like she predicts it, and then he does get in a car accident and die, and if she would have been with him she would have been in the car or something like that. Then we're getting into the kids books, okay? Disney's Little Mermaid, 5 stars. Rainbow Fish, 5 stars. I love Rainbow Fish. A Little Fairy Tale, 5 stars. That was so freaking cute, and we have these little like stuffed animals of the ferry boat, and it's adorable. Okay, then I read The Never King by Nikki St. Crow. I gave this a 3 out of 5 stars. I remember being absolutely floored at the amount of spiciness in this book. It was, I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't that, and I was disappointed because it had such a good plot without the spice, and all this author focused on was just writing sex scenes, and the plot was actually like good, and I really wish it would have been more actual plot because it could have been a really great story and series. I will not be continuing with this series, but it could have been great. I actually feel like it maybe should be lower than 3 stars. I feel like it should be 2 for the sheer fact that I'm pissed off that there wasn't more plot. Okay, then I read Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. 5 stars. Loved it. Love my crows. Enough said. Like, I watched the show first, loved it, and I knew a lot about everything about the crows because you just can't be in like the reading realm or sphere without hearing about the crows. The book was just as good. I loved it. It was great. I don't know what it's about. You probably do, but this group of 6 I was about to say 6 crows. No, this group of 6 kind of like misfits, and they go on like, they do like heists and stuff and like steal things, and they're like hooligans, and then they kind of become like a little family. Love it. Then I read Personal Finance 101 by Alfred Mill. I gave this a 3 out of 5 stars. It was, got the job done, explained things to me. It was very, very, very basic, which is what I was expecting. Yeah. Then I read The History of Gucci. This one was by just Newbery Publishing. I gave that a 4 out of 5 stars. It was very short, but I remember I just like wanted to know more about Gucci for some reason, and oh my god, the tea and the scandal in this family is wild. Like, I'm gonna have to read House of Gucci at some point because oh my god, I was like floored and sad. Like, it sounds like it should be fake, but it wasn't fake. Wild. I read Dragons Love Tacos and then Dragons Love Tacos 2. Both of those were 3 stars. They're by Adam Rubin. Very random, but like fun. Like, I see it. And then I read Moon, Earth's Best Friend. This is another kid's book. I gave that a 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read Happy Place by Emily Henry, and I gave that a 4 out of 5 stars. It was really good. I was actually surprised by how much I enjoyed it because I'm not usually a contemporary girly, but I had a good time. It was interesting, like reading about the friend group and everything, and it's about this like they go to their happy place which is in Maine, and the main girl like broke up with her boyfriend of like 9 years. It was like a really long time, and they were supposed to be engaged and getting married, and then like you're like, what happened? Like the entire book, and it's like there's like present day, and then it kind of like flashes back. It was cool. I liked the way it was told. The ending was a little like meh, like it was like a little lackluster for me, but other than that I liked it, and I read it at a very perfect time in my life because it's kind of about all these like people, mostly the main girl, like not really knowing what she wants out of life, and like realizing that maybe what she had planned actually isn't what she wants, and that's exactly what has been happening to me this year. So I get you, girly. Then I read The Selection finally by Kira Cass. I gave that a 5 out of 5 stars. I was sat, I ate it up. It was great. like 2000s dystopian is just, it's special. It's got a special place in my heart. Then I read Rookie Move by Riley Hart. Also gave that a 5 out of 5 stars. Really liked it. It's a hockey romance. Woo. More kids books. Night Owl. Gave that a 5 stars. So cute. Night Lunch. Gave that 1 star. Didn't understand the point of it. I was reading it and I was like confused. The Golden Acorn, I gave that a 5 out of 5 stars. Acorn Was a Little Wild, I gave 4 stars. Then I read the new multi-channel integrated marketing by Craig Huey. I gave that a 3 out of 3 stars. I found it very informative. Then I read Digital Personal Branding, and I gave that a 5 out of 5 stars. I was in my marketing era here, okay? So then I read another personal branding book that I gave 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read another one that I gave a 4 out of 5 stars. More kids books. We've got Mother Bruce, so cute. 5 out of 5 stars. I'm Not Scared, You're Scared. 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read In Bloom by Paul Tremblay. I gave that a 2 stars. It's like a horror novella. It's set on the Cape, but it's like weird. It's like, I don't even know. I don't even know how to explain it. It's something to do with like the water is like evil. I don't know. Didn't like it. Then I read Crazy Diamonds, which is a Dean and Castiel fanfiction because I was rereading Supernatural. I was rewatching Supernatural, so I was kind of in my Supernatural era at that point. Give that a 4 out of 5 stars. It was fun. It was a good time. Enjoyed it. Then The X-Hex by Aaron Sterling. Gave that a 5 out of 5 stars. I actually really liked this book. It was like Halloween Town. Like, I loved it. Kind of like Halloween Town mixed with Sabrina almost in a way, and it was just like a cute little Halloween, like, witch, warlock, second chance romance. Like, you can't go wrong. You truly cannot go wrong. New fave, honestly. Then How to Catch a Witch. It's a kid's book. 2 stars. Haunted Ghost Tour of Massachusetts. 2 stars. Stella Luna. 5 stars. That's a classic. The Square Pumpkin. 5 stars. Then I finished How to Do the Work by Nicole LaPera. That I had been reading for like many months, like almost a whole year. Gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, but finally finished it. Then Elmore the Christmas Moose, 5 out of 5 stars. Such a cute little kid's book, Christmas story, love it. Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Sleigh, which I didn't rate, I just marked as read, and I don't really need to read it. Then I read Kingdom of the Curse, which was a 5-star read, and Kingdom of the Feared, which was also a 5-star read. My god, going through that was crazy. Let's just say, dude, my range this year is wild. We've got like kids books, novellas, fan fiction, marketing, health, finance, House of Gucci, like Gucci randomly. We've got like, I don't know, I just think that the range this year is like if they did a pie chart on Goodreads, which I don't think they do of like all the different genres, like I feel like this year would be so whack for me, genuinely. But I don't know, this wasn't as great of a reading year as other years have been. I DNF'd Butcher and Blackbird. I might go back to it at some point. I was enjoying it, I just wasn't in the mood for something that like dark at the moment. Then I read Siren Queen. Then I DNF'd Siren Queen. Probably won't go back to it because I just couldn't get into it. I DNF'd Ego Is the Enemy. Won't go back to that. It was very just like, I just thought that the advice in it was like actually kind of damaging. Like I just didn't like it. Then I DNF'd Gravity. I don't really remember why or what it was about. Forgot about that book entirely, so probably won't go back to it. We'll see though. DNF'd The Time Traveler's Guide to Medieval England. I will probably go back to that at some point. I just wasn't in the mood for a book like that. I DNF'd Vampires in the Lemon Grove and Other Stories. That I will probably go back to because I read a few stories within that like compendium, but my hold expired on the library. So I just threw it in the DNF so I would know. And I don't think the individual stories are up there for rating. So like I couldn't add them, I believe. That's what happened. I DNF'd the Sleepwalk book. Thought I would do it, didn't. Horoscopes for the Dead, DNF'd, don't remember that one. Metropolitan Stories I remember enjoying, my hold expired. DNF'd Miss Marvel, just could not really get into it. DNF'd Oops, I Ate a Vengeance Demon, so bizarre, so weird, won't go back to that. Icebreaker I DNF'd. Will not go back to that. I thought it was so bad, which is crazy to me because everyone is like obsessed with it and loves it, and I'm like, no. No thank you. Couldn't be me, I'm all set. So those are the ones that I DNF'd this year. I feel like I need to go through my shelf and like plan out my reading year for 2024 a little bit. I know, gasp, me planning is crazy. Yeah, but so that's what I DNF'd this year. I kind of DNF'd a lot this year, but that's because this wasn't a great reading year, and I kept picking things up and putting them back down and picking them up and putting them back down. Sometimes you just have years like that, and this was a year like that for me. But again, I'm kind of back on my reading grind, so I'm hoping to like continue with that and have a really great reading year in 2024. Maybe I'll make a video about like the books I want to read in 2024 and all that. But I wanted to hop on. I love to have these videos up here for me personally so that I can like know what I spent that year reading. I used to have a booktube channel that's still up, so you can find it if you really dig. And I do like to go back sometimes and like see the books that I read and like what I was doing. So I wanted to make sure to make this video. So it was like overall, as a reading year, I'd give it like a 2.5 or a 3 out of 5, you know? It was just meh. It was meh. I'm hoping to have a better reading year next year. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. So comment down below what your... Oh, before I do that, I will say my favorite reads of 2023, because I do like to do that. Hard for me to choose, right, between these three, but Kingdom of the Cursed, Kingdom of the Feared, and Six of Crows. Those would be my 3 favorite reads of this year. Hands down. Hard to choose between those 3, but those would be the 3. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Comment down below what your favorite book of 2023 was, or if you have any reading recommendations for me, and be sure to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and to subscribe for more content. It really does help out my channel a lot. I will see you guys tomorrow with another video. Later, gators. Bye.